Learning how to solve the right issue within your organization is one of the keys to your success. Now, I have worked with multiple companies who've had the best and the most talented people, all working together to solve issues within their organization, and they actually succeed at it. The problem is the same issue tends to recur over and over again. Now, this is not because your team's not solving the issue properly. It's because you haven't identified the right issue to solve. What's going on, guys? Velani here from Velani Consulting. Now, have you ever solved a problem at your organization and then see the same or similar type of problem occur again a little bit later? Let me know in the comment box below if that's something that you're seeing. If so, you are not alone. Most organizations are spinning their wheels because they don't have a method to identify the root cause of an issue and how to solve it on all levels. What's important to note here is that just because you've identified a problem, it doesn't mean that you've identified the right issue. The better your team gets at this, the more adept they'll be to implement solutions that will last. Otherwise, you may treat a symptom only to find out that the issue will pop up next week and the week after. This is where we use the 5 Why technique. The 5 Why technique is one of the best tools to get to the root cause of what went wrong, and by understanding the root cause of that problem, you can solve it in a way where the problem doesn't recur, as well as stopping any future problems that could have happened. Now, the technique works by asking why 5 times and was originally developed by Toyota. Now, allow me to give you a real-life example of a company that I work with. Now, this was a tax consultation firm, and the scenario was that one of their agents was double booked in 2 different counties at the same time, which caused them to miss a hearing for a very high-dollar client. And now the client is threatening to pull his business along with a bad reputation. Now, obviously, the company needed to take care of the client right away, which is what they did. They offered to pursue the case in litigation free of charge and waive another year's worth of invoicing, but did that actually take care of the issue, or was there something deeper that needed to be addressed? Typically, this is where most companies would have moved on to the next issue because the one that's right in front of them, they've addressed and they've solved. Here is what they did. The first question that they asked was, why did we get double booked? The answer? Well, since the counties work independently, we have to manage our own calendar. Our agent didn't realize it until the day before the hearing. Question 2. Why didn't he realize it earlier? Answer? Well, the meetings are manually entered into his calendar without any notification, so he checks it on an ad hoc basis. 3. Why are these meetings manually entered into his calendar? Answer. His calendar is actually not connected to our CRM, so one person during the busy season will randomly check the CRM for these dates and add it to the agent's calendar. 4. Why isn't his calendar connected to our CRM? Answer. Well, our CRM has very limited integration capabilities, and we run into these types of issues all the time. We see double bookings, missed hearings, missed values, missing client communication, and so on. This is because all of our documents have to go through a different manual queue to get these data points within the system. 5. Why is our CRM so limited? Answer. Well, we actually built our CRM internally with developers that we hired over 10 years ago. The technology has evolved dramatically since then, and we have not upgraded. Now, as you can tell, the root cause is much deeper than the issue stated. What started out as an unsatisfied client turned out to be a more technical issue at hand. Through this discussion, the company realized that due to a limited system, this particular issue, along with similar types of issues, were occurring much more frequently, but they were flying under the radar. Now, the real power of the 5 Whys comes next. The next step is to place countermeasures and take corrective actions at every level of the 5 Why. Here are the countermeasures that they took. So, since the counties work independently, we have to manage our own calendar. Countermeasure. Create SOPs to contact the county right away to see if we can schedule another time. If not, identify a backup agent to cover both hearings. If a backup agent is not available, then a senior manager will attend these hearings to avoid a non-suit. 2. Since the meetings are manually entered into his calendar without any notification, he checks it on an ad hoc basis. Countermeasure. SOPs were created for each agent to check their calendar on a daily basis for any conflicts for the week. If so, take the corrective actions that we just listed above. 3. His calendar is not connected to our CRM, so one person during the busy season will randomly check the CRM for 12 days and add it to the calendar. Countermeasure. Since the cost of losing a high-dollar client is much higher than an admin salary, a seasonal clerical position was to be created to do calendar data entry on an hourly basis into the CRM. 4. Our CRM has very limited integration capabilities, and we run into these types of issues all the time. We see double bookings, missed hearings, missed values, missing client communication, and so on. Again, this is all because all of our documents have to go through different manual queues to get the data points within the system. Countermeasures. Assign a project to quantify how many of these types of issues have occurred within the last calendar year and convert that into lost revenue. 5. We actually built our CRM internally with developers that we hired over 10 years ago. The technology has evolved dramatically since then, and we have not upgraded. Countermeasure. Assign a project to identify 3 different CRM providers, get scoping documents, cost implementation timeline, scalability analysis, and recurring support pricing. Now, once all of these different projects were completed, the company did realize that they actually had a limited CRM, and within a year and a half, they were able to upgrade. But throughout that year and a half, they still had these exact same issues, so they kept those countermeasures in place until the new CRM came in to take care of those issues. Once the new CRM came in, those countermeasures were taken away. Now, over time, as you address problems this way, you will build a more robust system and processes, and that will result in fewer problems happening in the first place. Also, one thing to note is most of the times the problem at the very beginning is never the root cause. What starts off as a technical problem will transform into a people or a process problem or vice versa. Finally, asking why 5 times is simply a rule of thumb. You may have to ask it 3 times or 10 times to get to the root cause of the problem. Learning the habit to solve problems this way will build transparency around your entire organization, and when there's transparency, issues will have nowhere to hide. They will actually start to bubble up to the forefront. This is just part of the 5 habits that you need to implement to create a culture of growth, innovation, and excellence within your organization. That is why I have created a free mini course called Growth Equals Innovation Plus Excellence. Click on the link below to check it out right now, or go to velaniconsulting.com/GIE. Again, that's velaniconsulting.com/GIE and register today. Also, subscribe to my channel and leave me a comment on this and any other topics that you'd like me to cover in the future. Again, this is Velani from Velani Consulting, and as usual, let's grow, innovate, and excel together. Until next time.